What's up, Love Nation? It's What's John here today, back again for another Thursday night preview between the Tennessee Titans. They're going to Pittsburgh to play the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are -3 at home. Should be a fairly good game. We've had some good news of late. And joining me this time for Thursday night preview, it's our boy, it's Jason Salima.
So rare on a Thursday, you know? Well, what is it? It's Wednesday. It's rare for me to be on a Thursday show. You know?
Yeah, we're getting back into it.
Here we are.
Apologies for last week.
Oh, apologies for the past few weeks, just been spotty on and off.
Yeah.
But you know what? Both John and I moved, and our lives just completely went upside down at the exact same time. And that's how you know something's meant to be. When both people are going through something really intense, and then all of a sudden we come together on the other side, and we get right excited to start filming. So basically, this is our future. You're looking at it. I'm drinking beer up in an attic and talking about sports, baby. Let's go.
Now, Jason, it's not called an attic, and it's not called my mum's living room. It's called our new studios, actually. I'm drinking my coffee.
Well, this is a mezzanine. This is actually a mezzanine in my shop, which is really cool. And a lot of you guys don't know out there, but I'm a woodworker and artisan by day. But I've downsized, and I'm here doing it on my own. I had a big 13,000 square foot shop, but I don't anymore. I just have my house, and I get to be close to my daughter. And I get to do more talking about sports. This show has freed me up to be able to do some more fun things in my life. And here we go. This is part of it, you know?
That's it, man. That's why we run our own businesses, so we can generally do what we want from day to day and bring in money on occasion. So it should be actually kind of a good game for the Thursday night. Please like and subscribe if you're watching this. Really helps us out. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram. You can follow us TikTok and Twitter. We're going to be making lots and lots of content again, which is really good. My Thursday night record. So we're currently at 23-11. So we're sitting at about 68%. We, Jay, I don't know if you had been listening to Thursday night previews, but we had gotten off to a flying start. We were at the first 4 or 5 weeks, we were around 80%. Mm-hmm. That's come down to earth a little bit. So, of course, I had to call in the big guns, and thank you for joining us.
What's the percent at right now? Let's see if we can turn this around, baby.
So right now, 68%. So not bad.
Really weird here.
I do want to hit a parlay though.
Oh my God! You know what? And that's the thing is we've just been shooting for it, and to be honest with you, the amount of injuries and everything that's been going on, it's been so difficult to hit them. I think for myself, it's back to basics and. No stress on having the odd parlay, but I, most years I have a tremendous amount of positive results with parlays. This season's been very difficult, very, very difficult. I think we're, especially for the 4 and 5 leggers. I just feel like every game somebody's going down. There's just been some weird stuff going on in the league too, and it's at the end of the day, you know what? I can't blame anybody but myself. But at the end of the day, the singles have still been really good, so I'm just gonna lean and leverage those for the time being until the mojo gets back cooking. But I feel like the mojos this is the start of the mojo cooking. So we'll cook up a parlay for this, John, and we're gonna hit it.
And I feel like that's the general sentiment amongst the betting community is that betting games has been really tough this season, but betting props has actually been not too bad. It's weird to look at my spreadsheet in that, most games, the unders are hitting the most, and the underdogs sort of seem to be hitting a little bit more. But if you actually go to the props from team to team, players are still hitting over all their props. So it's like they're getting down to the red zone and then not scoring or something like that. Something weird is happening.
Yeah, there's something going on. But you know what? I think there's a lot in these types of opportunities, or I should say, we'll call them opportunities. In these types of opportunities, it's better to start looking at higher percentage plays, less superstars. We still have been looking at a lot of the superstars, and to me, it just means stay on the fringe right now. Yeah, for me, it's about focusing more on what secondary or tertiary running back is going to be getting more opportunities in these types of games. What tight end number 1 or tight end number 2 that are down at 6 yards, and you go, okay, we're gonna need a completion here to make this happen. And what are the
Yeah,
odds that they're lining up? How many times do you think they're gonna be lining up in 12 personnel? So
for sure.
those are the things that are kind of exciting me a little bit more about going forward, especially if I'm doing the parlays. I'm keeping the superstars off the book, and I'm following my own rule and my own gut choices. As the season started to go on, I started to get a little bit more daring with dabbling with the WR ones, the QB ones, and it just hasn't been cooking. So you know what? Let's change the recipe.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I've been the quarterbacks that I bet have been sort of the one that have been letting me down the most. But to what you were saying about packages and personnel and things like that, that's what happened. That's what got me last Thursday night with the Bucks of the Bills. Was I was fully expecting this game script of, the Bills were going to run their 21 personnel set. So for anyone who doesn't know, 21 personnel is 2 tight ends, 1 running back, and then I think the rest is just sort of receivers littered on the ground. But because Dawson Knox was out and their backup tight end was out, it was just Dalton Kincaid. And of course, he's not much of a blocker, so they had to completely change their game script, which meant that Stephon Diggs was not as involved, and Khalil Shakir he took over.
Your boy, my boy. I've been rooting
I'm
for
glad to see
that
him.
gentleman as soon as he popped into the league. So it's good to see that coming out game. And you know what? I think it's the first of many. I think it's the first of many. That team is going to utilize him and leverage his skill set a lot more after seeing that. That's for sure. But anyway, let's focus on the Thursday night, man.
Let's do it. So let's get into the Thursday night game. So as I was saying, the Tennessee Titans are traveling to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Steelers are -3 favorites at home, so not too much in it. They can't really pick it. And the over-under is 38.5 at this stage, which I realize scoring has been down this season, and Will Levis is going to be in for a bit of a tricky one, but I think there's some winnable games here. And as we were saying before the show, I fully prepared for Mitch Trubisky to be playing, but what happened is Kenny Pickett has made it through practice all week. He was a full participant, so he is a go.
Healthy. He's ready to go.
He has no injury designation.
What's his and what's his passing line? 219.5 right here I have on the score. It's got to be
that's
less
delightful.
somewhere else, but that is still so delightful. That's for sure.
And we'll get into that in a second. So just quickly, the weather, it's going to be cold. It's going to be 10 degrees, but it will be a clear night. No clouds, no rain. Little wind as well. So good conditions there. The injuries, Ryan Tannehill will miss. He's out. And DeAndre Hopkins, like you were saying, Jay, is limited in practice. So something's come up for him, his toe, through the week, which, given the trade deadline is now passed, it's weird that he's still injured. So
Yeah. Well, here we go. He's in it.
All right. Oh, sorry, you're going to say?
Nope. That's it. I was saying he's in it.
Never mind. All right, let's jump into it now. So we'll start off by looking at our defenses. If you're watching on YouTube, please follow along. But the main thing that we're looking at here, does that work? No. There we go. That looks better. So let's start with the Tennessee Titans and their defenses. So we can see the main things that they've been giving it up is the wide receiver ones. They sort of did start to clamp it down a little bit after the start of the season, but the wide receiver twos have had a bit of success. But I am looking here. So green means player hit over their props. So here we're looking at Amari Cooper, for example, in week 3, got more than 6.5 catches and more than 60.5 receiving yards. And then week 4, so who am I thinking? Jamar Chase hit exactly 7. That's why it's in gray, but he didn't hit his receiving yardage prop. So that's why it's in red. So for the most part, well, I'm kind of interested in Diontae Johnson here for this exact reason is he's sitting at about 4.5 receptions. So can he get 5? I think so, based on this kind of stuff.
5 receptions for Diontae Johnson. And that seems about right, you know? The line seems right. Now, we want to err on the side of caution and avoid it altogether because it seems right and it doesn't seem to be favorable, but it also doesn't seem to be a terrible decision, you know?
Right. And that's what I'm sort of thinking. Now that I know Kenny Pickett is playing, I feel way more confident about it. Some other areas we'll look at here. If you're looking at Steelers tight end, I would stay away. They've only gone over that once, and that was David Njoku in week 3. So linebackers are looking good for the Titans. And this run defense has been good outside of the elite, the eternal Zach Moss here in week 5. they've had a really, really good run D. And now they're playing Najee Harris, who has not been had any success at all. So I don't mind that. And then just finishing lastly with the Titans as well, we'll look at is the passing yards over. Pretty much everyone except for Joe Burrow, who has been injured through the first month of the season, has had success. We can see Anthony Richardson got injured here week 5. But other than that, all other quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, Desmond Ridder, Justin Herbert, of course, Derek Carr, they've all had success there. So I like Kenny Pickett in this spot. We're looking at about 215, 219 for passing yards. We'll get into that. And then we'll just quickly move now over to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And similar things. So we've talked about the possibility here of a shootout. There's not much to much in the run game to look for.
Total is 38.5.
Oh yeah, I should
just
update
say
this.
A shootout.
It opened at 36 and it's been bet up to 38.5. As you can see, I've just changed that now.
What do you think it'll go to?
It's hard to say. Like, it depends on Will Levis, and the tricky thing for Will Levis is tight turnaround for him, 5-day turnaround, and he's coming off a hell of a performance, so expectations are high. Yeah, I'm not sure. What do you think, man?
It's your world. I'm just living in it right now, John.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
If you want my 2 cents, I think it's priced accurately. I think somewhere around 40 might be the. I think if you're taking the over under, I would probably take the over.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, is it a comeback down game for Will Levis, or are they going to scorch the sky? It's definitely not a running game.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a run game.
No,
I lean scorch the sky, and the reason being because all receiver one options who have played against the Steelers have all had success. Whether it's, I think this was actually Puka Nacua for the Rams, but sounds about right. Calvin Ridley returned to form last week. Zay Flowers had a great game. Nico Collins had a great game. Devontae Adams, of course, we'd expect him to have a good game. Mm-hmm. They've all had success. So DeAndre Hopkins, I'm looking at here. I quite like this. I think we saw him at 3.5 receptions or something like that. I'm keen to bet the over there. And then similarly for Will Levis, 200 receiving yards. Mm-hmm. Sorry?
You said DeAndre was at 3.5. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
I mean,
what?
It's like, what is that? Is that a trap? I feel like it's a trap.
It's not a trap. Let's just do it. Lock.
Let's
First
just do
one. DeAndre Hopkins over 3.5 receptions. Boom.
Gotta be. And I actually do expect Will Levis. Look, this is going to be tricky like I was just saying, on the road in his second game starting. Steelers defense is good. It's just the corners have not been playing as well. So we'll see how we go there. Let's have a look at the actual lines for the quarterbacks, though. We'll get into that now. Any quick thoughts before we go through all the props, Sully, from you?
No. So my thoughts exist exactly what you're thinking. You and I are on the same page right now. Both quarterbacks look really appealing. I can't wait to dive into the numbers. I think DeAndre Hopkins, I'm glad we just made that a lock. I just made that a lock. Sorry for taking that from you, but it's a friggin' lock. 3.5 looks fantastic. And I think that the top target for Will Levis, it's a safety blanket. And I know it sounds weird that a wide receiver is a safety blanket, but he's tall and he's got a massive catch radius. And he's going to be dominating all over the field. So I like both the overs, but the receptions feel a lot safer to me.
For sure. So let's jump in. We'll start with Kenny Pickett here, who has played a lot of injured games. A lot of the times that he hasn't made his passing totals, he has gotten injured. And you can see there's a couple of grayed out ones here for ones that he missed or effectively left in the second quarter. But outside of week 4, he's actually passed fairly well. And I think it's because the Steelers have had to come from behind a bit. So Kenny Pickett over 215, 219, 220. Mm-hmm. I'm quite comfortable with that. I wouldn't go much higher than that just because we haven't seen that line before.
Would you bet it down to 200 and call it safe?
Yeah, 200 would be great. That would be very safe, I feel.
As a parlay kicker, I think that's a good call.
Yeah, exactly. And then, look, here's the thing with Will Levis is we just don't know anything about him yet, really. We saw him play really, really well against the Falcons defense, who was good, but perhaps they didn't know how to game plan for him because they hadn't seen him either. So the line is sitting at 200. I do like the over, but it is a bit risky just because we just don't know. We don't know what we're going to get with him.
I'm taking the over. I'm going to bet it down to whatever I can get it at. But if he's at What's he at? 200? Is that what you said?
Yeah, 200.
If he's at 200, I'll take that down to 190 and I'll call it a day.
Beautiful. Real quick, we're going to jump now to the running backs. And for the Steelers, look, Najee, he's having a tough season. He's a bit slow. He's not too fast. And the Titans have a very good. Sorry?
He is sluggish right now.
Yeah, and the Titans have a very good run defense. So I don't expect much success here for Najee. Have you had a look at what the line is for Najee
it's
rushing?
46, I think. But I was just looking at Jalen Warren's receiving.
Yep.
And it feels like it's too accurate. They have me there. Like I want to take it, but it's a little scary. It is at, I believe it's just at 20.
20,
so
yep.
It feels, or 19 and a half, John. You can change it.
It's doable. It is doable.
It's more than doable. Like I think, I want to take it. I don't like the 3 receptions, but
no.
I like 2. But what does that actually tell me? That tells me that I like at least one of those to go over 12 yards.
Right.
So let me go check the longest completion.
Have a look.
We'll jump. Reception. Sorry, I just want to take a look at this. Sorry, because we are talking about the running backs right now. It's 10 and a half. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to put this out there that I'm putting on my card. The longest reception, Jalen Warren at 10 and a half.
Interesting. All right. I mean, it's doable. He's done it. He's done it plenty.
If I like him to get 2 receptions and his total is at 20, I feel like statistically, I feel like he's going to catch 2 at 10, right? Like, or 1 at 11 and 1 at 9 and or 1 at 6 and 1 at
Yeah. Do you see a world in which Najee just sort of eventually gets benched in this game and Jalen Warren just takes over?
No, not in this game.
Nah. And there is part of me is like, if Najee were to get benched, it probably would have happened by now.
Yeah, they're just gonna keep using him, and the rushing yards are Najee's slated for double what Jalen Warren is, but that doesn't really mean anything. But
yeah,
it's just showing that he's probably, I'm assuming in practice, he's still getting all the first team reps. He's still getting, he's on the field more often than Jalen Warren during practice time leading up to the game here. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think you'll keep using Najee.
No, that sounds good. And then over on the Tennessee side for running backs, Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears. Like I was saying, Steelers have got a good run defense. Now, can they stop Derrick Henry? I don't know about that. Derrick Henry's had a lot of success in the passing game as well. So passing or scrimmage would be the way to go here. I don't particularly myself personally have any running backs on my card. And Tajay Spears has been too inconsistent, too all over the place for me to really want to bet anything there as well.
Yeah, I don't like either of them.
Yeah, I think, I was fully expecting Derrick Henry to get traded. That did not happen. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe now that it's starting to get cold, they'll start to run him into the ground a bit more.
Well, if they think they're going to get rid of Derrick Henry next year, then I don't see why they're on the back half of the season, why Derrick Henry isn't just going to be used like a mule,
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's where I sort of sit with it as well. Let's finish now with these receiving options as well. So Diontae Johnson has been back and he has been excellent. We saw that the reception number was at 4.5, and I really, really like that considering it's been 5.5 the 2 previous weeks. And he did have at least 5. And then the receiving receptions was 56.5 we saw, and I don't mind that as well. I think that he's going to have a lot of success here in the backfield. Either that or it just all goes to George Pickens. This is where it can be hard to split the two.
Yeah, these two confuse me now. Just we haven't seen enough out of Diontae with Kenny Pickett to really know where he's looking and how often he's looking there. All I know is that he has been building this rapport with Pickens all season.
Yeah.
So if I was going to take one of them, I would not take Diontae. I would take the 3.5 with George Pickens.
You would? Okay.
If I was taking it.
I think I'm going Diontae in this one.
You're a bold man.
Is the way I feel about it. I mean, you could even go almost either of them.
I mean, you could probably go with both of
Why
them,
not,
but
like, if you're going to do Kenny Pickett over passing yardage, why not stack it with both of them?
what's the receiving yards for Jorge? It is 52. No, I don't like it.
52 for who?
For George Pickens.
For Pickens. Yeah, no, that's too high for me.
And 55.5 for Diontae Johnson.
See, I'd rather go with that.
Yeah.
He can get open. And the other thing is, so we talked already about the tight ends for Tennessee. So I don't expect much action from the tight ends. Allen Robinson, we know, is not very good. I think it'll just be funneled through these two players.
Watch Calvin Austin have the game of a lifetime.
Yeah, that's the play
on Thursday.
That's the play. All right, let's finish with these Tennessee Titans receivers as well. So D-Hop, 3.5. I don't understand what that is. Maybe
how does that even make sense?
It doesn't even make sense. Maybe we're looking at the wrong thing.
Maybe something's broken. It doesn't make sense. But if it's gonna sit there, if it's gonna sit there at 3.5, it just feels like I'm being baited right now.
Hang on, I'm just checking my local sports book. 3.5. It's a 3.5. I don't understand. Okay, so we like DeAndre Hopkins over 3.5 receptions.
I have to go look for news on Hopkins. This doesn't make sense. Is there something going on?
He is carrying that toe injury, so maybe there's something there. But and then as far as Chig, he has been too inconsistent for me, and the Steelers have been good against tight ends as well. Nick Westbrook, Akine, I'm probably not looking at just because the Steelers' number 2 options have been able to shut down, so not looking that way. And Treylon Burks has just really had a complete dud of the season. It's incredible to think that the Titans traded away AJ Brown. They had Ryan Tannehill they had to pay Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and AJ Brown, and they decided that they'd let AJ Brown go of all 3 of those.
It's really weird.
But here we are. All right.
D-Hop's longest reception is at 21.5 as well.
Yeah, after all those bombs. I wouldn't mind betting under that.
Well, you're crazy, John. You're crazy.
Because think about, like, Levis was last weekend was just throwing bomb after bomb to him.
Corking them.
And I think that's inflated the line, so I think you could get good value on the under.
Maybe.
But we'll see.
And Treylon Burks is at 15.5.
Yeah, that's nothing. Maybe that is worth betting.
The longest, 15.5.
Oh, his longest reception?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I thought you meant his total receiving yards.
No. His total receiving yards have to be somewhere in like 30. Let's go take a look here. They are 24.5. Actually, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I don't love it just because he hasn't really done it.
Where it goes
outside of week 2?
Pull up there's the stats right there. So he hit under on 20.5, and then he hit
unders everywhere.
Under on 40.5, and under on 20.5. But yeah, you're right. He hasn't done it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that scares me. What on the odd chance that D-Hop doesn't play, if you can get in on that line.
Yeah. If DeAndre Hopkins doesn't play, then, I really, really like Treylon Burks there.
Wouldn't it be like a dart throw right now if you take it and, like, say D-Hop goes in and plays 2 quarters or they put him on a snap count because of the toe. I don't know. I'm nervous about this receiver 2 option here that the Titans, the Steelers have been able to shut down. Shut down? Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah, is my thing. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go over the ticket one last time. That'll be the Thursday night preview. So I've got 4. I've got Kenny Pickett over 215 passing. I've got Najee under his rushing yardage. What do we say, 45? Yep. That's dangerous, man. Scary. It's a Josh Jacobs situation all over again, buddy. It's get this PTSD. Josh Jacobs just completely burned me with his 55 the other night. Yeah. DeAndre Hopkins over 3.5 receptions. We love it. And I like Diontae Johnson over 4.5 receptions as well. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Sully? I think cool, man. The Najee thing scares me. Yeah. But maybe I'll back out of Najee. I don't know. Yeah. I'm going D-Hop over 3.5 receptions. I'm going to bet down both quarterbacks' lines down 10 yards. So actually, I'm going to probably, I'll go down 10 for both of them. So that would be Will Levis at 190. That's over. And I will take the over of Kenny Pickett at 210. And I will also take the longest reception of Jaylen Warren for over 10.5.
Beauty. I love it, man. Those are some great picks.
It's great. Feels good.
All right, that's going to do it for our Thursday night preview. If you are still watching, please like and subscribe to this. It really, really helps us out. I'm going to start playing our outro music. Exciting game ahead. We're going to be back with the Sunday slate as well. We're going to get into that pretty soon. We have some really good coming up as well. And that's all for now.
Let's roll.
Let's roll.